Hello there, and welcome back to another episode of Marketing Made Easy for HR Consultants with me, Nick Paninsky. Today, we are very lucky. We are joined by Sara McCracken, who is an award-winning PR and communications specialist with over 20 years of experience of developing strategies that affect change. Thank you for joining us today, Sara.
Thank you for having me, Nick. I am so pleased to be here.
Excellent. Yeah, no problem. It's good to finally get you on the show, because obviously we've been messaging a little bit since Atomicon to get you onto the show, and here you are.
Yes, that was my first time at Atomicon this year.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm really looking forward to going back next year. So hopefully we'll be able to meet in person.
Yes.
And some of your listeners will be there, and we'll just be able to have a lovely big reunion.
Yes, it'll be fantastic. It's a really good little conference, hey?
Yeah, I mean, just blown away, I think, by the caliber of the speakers.
Yes.
Particularly loving the people I follow on social media who were there in the room and being able to have those conversations, but also just meeting people I've never met in real life. A lot of my LinkedIn contacts were there. I mean, we're practically chartering a plane from Northern Ireland and Southern Ireland at the minute to get there. So yeah, just brilliant to meet people.
Yes, absolutely. My favorite speaker was Jeff Ram. Who was your favorite speaker?
Oh, I loved, obviously, Davina. Awesome. Teresa Heath-Waring was another favorite. I do love her podcast as well. And Simon Swibb, What is Your Dream? He was really engaging as well.
That is so interesting, because I have got no idea about any of those speakers. I know about Davina, obviously. Lovely Davina. Everyone knows Davina. But yeah, I don't know any of your speakers. So I would see Jeff Ram talking about the celebrity treatment you should give your clients. Very interesting. He's going back this year.
Yes, so I'm looking forward to that. But I think that's maybe the power of the conference. There's so much, there's something for everybody.
Yes.
So again, You can go your route, I can go mine, and then we meet at the coffee break and discuss ideas.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's such a good day. Love it. And I also love, just how friendly everyone is, how engaging, how exciting. It's got a feel to the conference. You're not sat around bored at any point.
Oh, definitely not. And I mean, I had sort of seen and read about it, maybe the year or two previous, and I just had so much FOMO. I had to book myself on, and I'm so glad I did. It's one of the best business decisions I've made. Just to be able to be in a room with that many people and you sharing ideas, just discussing who you've heard, what the speakers are saying. It's just, really encourage everybody to sign up to that for next year.
Yeah, 100%. 100% with you on that one. But anyway, enough about that. Let's talk PR. So I've obviously released a podcast about this before, but we're going to take that information that I shared previously, we're going to take it to the next level. Sara is an expert with over 20 years of experience. So in your own words, Sara, what is PR?
What is PR indeed? I mean, everybody, the whole world, obviously your target audience is not the whole world. Let me get that out there now. But, the feedback I get a lot is, your PR, it's just sending out some press releases and getting in the media. And it is part of it. That's one of your tactics, but it's so much more than that. I mean, obviously, Nick, you're the marketing expert. That's, your activities you undertake to make sales of a product or service, advertising, its close cousin. But PR is about your reputation. It's about what you do, what you say, and what others say about you. And it's about organically building your profile, your reputation, your credibility. And it's really just a way to get that positive credibility, positive reputation, so that people are talking about you, your business, and your services when you're not in the room. And that's what we're all after. We want to be the go-to person, be it for PR or HR, and just PR is a way to do that. Now, if you have a shoddy reputation, no amount of PR or spend is going to rectify that. So, but that's not what we're about here. You and your listeners, we're open, we're transparent, we're good at our jobs, and it's about building our positive credibility and reputation. So that's really PR in a nutshell. Now, PR will overlap with marketing. The tools and tactics are similar. You've all got social media, there'll be e-newsletters, all the rest of it. But, your PR, your marketing approaches need to complement each other. And, it's never too early to do PR for your business. And PR is not just for those great big faceless corporations either with the multi-budgets, multi-million-pound budgets. It's for small businesses, consultants, entrepreneurs from the very beginning. And again, it's about looking at just what opportunities are out there for you to raise your profile. And a structured PR approach will really, really help that.
Nice. That is, I like that. I like that summary. That's very good. I think, like you say, leaning into PR is very good. I think for me, it's about positioning. It's about your brand. Like you say, it's your reputation, but it's also about you as a business. It's about sharing your message without sharing it. It's building awareness. Because obviously, when you go to marketing, there are different goals that you can try and facilitate when you're doing your lead gen or whatever it is. And sometimes it is about getting leads and clients, and sometimes it's just about building awareness for your business. And obviously, PR lends itself to that, right?
Absolutely. And your PR approach, it really needs to align to your business plan as well. You obviously have these goals that you want to achieve in terms of sales, in terms of whatever it happens to be. So you then need to think, what can PR do to support that? So again, it's starting to filter. It's not doing everything, but you've various tactics, if you like, available. Media relations, that's the press side of things. You have your social media channels, podcast. Coming on podcast is a brilliant approach. Your website networking, stakeholder engagement. And if you think of all these things as credibility markers, they all then start to add up. You've got your marketing touch points. How many touch points do you need to sell a service? Could be 5, could be 35, who knows? But these all feed into that. And your credibility then all builds up. So if you were looking for an HR consultant, for example, I might Google HR consultant. I have had to look for an HR consultant in the past for something else I was connected with. So again, we were recommended somebody. I was able to go and research them online to see what they had done before. And that all then starts to come up on the internet, and you can then start to make a judgment on them. So think wider than just getting in the press, although that is really important, and I'm happy to talk anybody through that. But think of those other opportunities as well. That'll just create that positive perception about you, your business, your product, your service, whatever it happens to be.
Nice. Yeah, I like it. Well, let's talk some more about that. Let's talk about, because obviously being featured in the press is fantastic for your business, right? So I think we all know that, depending on how you're covered. Yes. Just
if we do crisis comms in another episode, maybe.
Yes. We don't want to be in bad press, but good press, right? And I was just about to say, the good press publications, for me, I wouldn't want to be covered in certain newspapers, for example. So, but yeah, it is good because then you can stick it on your website, and it is great for credibility, i.e. if, a trustworthy news source trusts you, then I, Joe Public, should be able to trust you as well. So let's build on that, Sarah. Why is PR so important? Would I be able to trouble you for 5 reasons?
5 reasons why PR is so important. Well,
I'm putting you on the spot.
You are putting me on the spot.
I know, because we prepared our questions. We said, why is it important? But I thought, let's. I love a list.
Yeah. I love a list too. It's about becoming known. You count these, by the way. So becoming known. How will you tell your story and position your business? That's really important for PR as well. And again, number 2, that's then about, as I've already said, aligning it with your business planning and your business goals. So
yes.
Okay, hold on. You're doing the count for me. That's good. So
I'm doing the count,
business plan, business goals. How will you then align your PR to that and become better known? So, telling your story, positioning your business, talk about your background, clients you've helped, all the rest of it. Important within that is identifying your target audience. So who's your ideal customer? Who do you want to talk to? Is it an investor, for example? Is it an actual client? You need to think through who your target audience actually is, and then build relationships with those people, build the trust with them. So that could be through what we've already talked about, coming to speak on a podcast, or being in the local paper, or maybe speaking at a local business networking event, whatever's appropriate for you. And again, It's really then about having your customers hear about you on TV or on the radio and not your rival, because everybody's sort of sitting back waiting for the PR to happen to them, but you have to be quite proactive in going out after it as well. And there's things we can talk about connected with that as well. How to pitch, how to write press releases, how to make sure you can cut through the noise in the journalist's inbox from there. So those things will, they'll help you expand your reach, help you increase your visibility, and your reputation, and ultimately it will lead to sales. It's not as direct as marketing, perhaps, where you've got your
it is important,
rates. But again, it's that wider reputational piece as well. And you touched there on, I've lost count, by the way, on how many things I've done, but you touched there about the good press and the bad press. Oh, good. It's not so much I don't want to be in this paper, it's I don't want this type of story about me, potentially, because a lot of different papers have quite big readerships or quite big online audiences at the minute. So it's thinking through how can you constructively and positively put forward your story. It could be as simple as maybe doing a 10 tips every HR consultant needs to think about in an appropriate magazine, or obviously you're faced with more of a crisis situation or a negative reputation situation, we would take a different approach to that. So yeah, it really just depends. But yeah, set your plan, set your PR plan around your business plan, set your PR plan around that, identify your audience, build relationships with them, and then proactively go out and seek the coverage that you would like.
No, I like that. I think it's very key as well, is what you're talking about there, is when you're saying it should be part of your strategy, your wider goals. Like, for some people listening along to this, PR is not the right way for them. It isn't for everyone. There are so many different ways that you can go about marketing your business, sharing yourself, positioning yourself. PR might not necessarily be the way forward for you, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if it is part of your overall goal to, I don't know, become the #1 HR consultant for local garages in the UK, for example, then PR is probably very important to you, because if that's one of your lofty goals, then how do you become #1? You need to spread your message, and PR is very effective at that, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, just think reputation first and foremost, and then everything that you're doing in and around that. So even from what are you posting in social media, that has a potential impact on your reputation. If you were, say, consulting as an HR consultant, working maybe with a larger organization, I'd be going and asking, what's your social media policy for staff? How is that impacting on the reputation of the business? If you're working with a charity, is what they're putting out politically neutral? So these are all sort of things that you could be asking as an HR consultant going into an organization to work with. And again, it all links back to your PR, that public perception of you and your reputation and credibility.
Nice. I like it. So I think let's go to the big question, Sarah.
Here we go.
How can winning awards help you in your overall PR strategy?
That is an excellent question.
Well, thank you.
I am really proud to say that I am an award-winning PR practitioner. I mean, it took me 20-something years to get one. And again, it's back to your overall PR approach. You can't just send out a press release today and hope that it's going to land. You need that ongoing, sustained relationship building with the media, with journalists, with your PR planning. And awards are a tactic, if you like, of PR. So you've set what it is you want to achieve through PR and communications. You might think, yep, I think entering some local awards or UK-wide award, whatever they happen to be, would be really effective in doing that. And they do provide that really good opportunity for raising your profile, for showcasing what it is you do and showcasing how successful you have been, so that when you're asked further down the line of what have you done, it said, well, I have won X, Y, and Z awards for HR consulting or whatever it happens to be, and that then adds to your credibility. So they do have a role to play in terms of your PR approach.
I agree. And so I think winning awards is definitely super important. If you've got that desire to have your brand awareness out there, to have people recognizing you. If you want to be the #1 HR consultant for local garages, PR, winning awards, those are super important to you. So yeah, it's definitely something to consider. So let me ask you the next question. There are loads of awards out there that people can nominate themselves for, that they can win. see it on LinkedIn all the time. Someone's won Business Person of the Year, and you're like, oh, Business Person of the Year, and you lean forward in your seat, and then you sit back because it's, you know, their local, I don't know, the street that they live on has nominated them, and they've won, and the only other competition was Paul McCapp. So, you know,
Very cynical.
what is a good? What are the marker points of a good award to win?
Yeah, look, I'm agreeing 100% with what you're saying. There are so many awards out there that you could be winning. So I think before you go down that route, what I would be recommending is you take that step back and thinking which awards are credible. Are they related to your professional body, for example? Are they related to maybe your local business enterprise? You could be a Federation of Small Business award, could be, you know, something high profile like that. Anybody can set up their own award ceremony. Like Nick, you and I could decide to set one up tomorrow, and it would be a money-making enterprise for us, and we could have all sorts of business practices to encourage people to do that. But for me, it's about, are the awards credible? Are they going to enhance my business, and will they reflect well on my business as well? Now, I have heard in the past of, for example, sustainability awards being set up, being sponsored by, shall we say, a beverage company that don't have the best pollution record. So again, it's trying to tie those things up as well. Equally, I know of some sustainability awards that are being led by somebody whose passion is to improve the world in terms of sustainability. So there's different ones out there. So I would encourage you to research them and look who's behind them, and maybe look at previous winners and do they sit well with your values. I think would be the key from that as well. And I think there's other potential red flags as well. Do you know, do you have to pay to enter? I don't necessarily have a problem with that. So I'm a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Public Relations, and if I want to enter those awards, I need to pay to enter, and that's okay to an extent, because of the credibility that comes. But equally, are you being asked to pay to play, if you like? Are you then going to be stung by a very high ticket awards ceremony that you have to go to actually get your award? Are you then going to be asked to, you know, pay to have the marketing assets? There's a lot of red flags within there as well. So I think you need to consider, again, that reputational piece in terms of who's organising the awards, what you're going to get out of it, how legit are they? Should we say there as well? So again, different things for different people. But yeah.
I think that's something that probably people overlook. I mean, I certainly do. But when you talk about winning the awards, and they are that sustainability award, and it's sponsored by a mega popular beverage company, you might not think too much about that. But 5 years down the road, you might be thinking, like, someone might come across you and want to hire you, but then they see that you're associated with that beverage maker, and they'll be like, absolutely not, hard left, you know. And by accident, you've tarnished your brand, you've tarnished your reputation. So it's super important. It's not something, as I say, it's not something I've thought about.
And I think as well, you'll see them as well occasionally, do you know, maybe more local ones, and you put in submissions, and then suddenly your friends on Facebook will ask you to vote for them. And, you know, click here because the most number of likes is going to win. Again, is that really based on a significant amount of effort in terms of your entry, your nomination submission? Is it being judged by a group of your peers, for example, or is it just a popularity contest on social media? I would have a few warning bells about those ones as well, I have to say. Again, more sort of popularity or vote counting ones. So lots to think about, but equally there are some really good awards out there. And I would be looking at, you know, the reputable source. Is it your professional body? Is it, again, back to the local business enterprise? You see newspapers running business awards as well, because then obviously they have a good reputation behind them as well. And again, what is that sort of long-term value the award is going to give to you as well? Is it just going to be a quick hit, or is it something that you're really going to be proud of promoting, like you've already said, in sort of 3 to 5 years' time?
Yes. I think one thing to think about as well from a marketing perspective, and getting the most juice, the most squeeze from that juice, I see people winning awards and then not putting it on their websites. They share it on LinkedIn, but then that's the end of it. And I think you need to put that on your website. The little photo collage of the night, link to a press release about it. Maximize the return on that. Because if you get named as Business Person of the Year for the Small Medium-Sized Businesses Federation or something, then put that out right, left, and center everywhere on your website, because that's a big one.
Absolutely. It's just that classic repurposing your content and just remembering, and we're all guilty of this, that just because you put something on LinkedIn and 25 people have seen it, they forget the next week. So you can continually pop that out as well. So yeah, no, absolutely. Use it, maximize it, keep building that credibility piece as well. And then even if you have won the award, can you do a piece for the local paper, for example? You'll have a lovely photo of you all dressed up, holding your award nicely. Get that nice photograph, get it in the local papers, really keep pushing it.
Industry papers as well.
Absolutely.
If you're Federation for Small Business will win an award, but then you save local mechanics, what magazines do they have?
Exactly.
So that's a great little tip there, Sarah.
Yeah, that brings us right back to what PR is and identifying your target audience. So again, what magazines should you be in? What newspapers are relevant to you? And then just focusing all your efforts on those rather than a huge big scattergun approach, which just doesn't really work for anybody.
Nice. I like it. So I guess that brings us to the last question. How can someone win an award?
We have to enter. It's first go off,
Excellent. Step one.
You see that about, and it's like, oh, should I enter? Should I not enter? And again, you've got to think back to your overarching business strategy. Will this enhance what I do? Will it add to my credibility? So if you're ticking those boxes, then yes, take that next step of, finding the criteria, finding, what are the deadlines. That would be really important as well. And do you need a bit of budget for this as well? Pursuing awards, it can be distracting from your day-to-day business. It can be costly, so you need to balance all that in as well. But in terms of how to write the award, I'd be looking at choosing the right award to enter, business specific, really good reputation, valued by your stakeholders and your target audience as well would be really important. And then start to look at the criteria. And I've actually been an awards judge for CIPR, which is really eye-opening. So you'll see in a lot of these things, people are looking for examples of what it is that you've done. So there's no point in wasting your 350 words in this nice narrative of what I did on my holidays. That's the style I talk about it. You want to actually deliver. I did this and it had this big an impact and I helped this many people and the outcome was a real change in HR practice or whatever it happens to be. So craft that compelling narrative about what you've done, who you've helped and what the outcomes are, and that's really going to help in terms of the judging process, because they will have criteria to follow. But
Nice.
Has your business solved a problem? Demonstrate the value of your work. Don't just write lots of words for the sake of it. And again,
so in HR, we would talk about that being a star. So situation, task, action, result.
Yeah, or context, action, result if you're short on time. So yeah, very much so. But it's that evidence-based piece to really demonstrate what you've done. So you've got your right awards, you've crafted your lovely thing. Get somebody to read it over. Check for typos, check for spelling, make sure you've met the criteria and have included all the information that you need. There are consultants out there who can help write awards if you think you did need a bit of help. But equally, I think it's just having the confidence to do it. Because your business is really, really good and you have every right to be entering these awards. So just make the submission and then sit back and wait for the call to see that you've been shortlisted. And again, going forward, you can start to talk about that you're a finalist in this award, even before you get to the actual award ceremony. So being a finalist is, can be as important as being the ultimate winner, because you then have those opportunities as well to raise your profile that, I'm a finalist and who's going to the award ceremony and shall we meet up beforehand? So again, back to that networking, that peer recognition as well.
Clever, like it. Fair enough. Well, that brings us nicely on to the end of the episode, Sarah. So where would someone reach you if they want help with their PR, with their overall positioning, with their entry to award ceremonies?
Oh, I spend an awful lot of time over on LinkedIn, so you will find me there. It's Sara McCracken. That's SARAMCCRICKEN. So you'll find me there. I have a website which is www.theprclub.co.uk, and I will have a download available for your listeners. It'll be 5 tips to do with PR, and I will get you the link for that and pop that into the show notes later on if that's okay as well. But you know,
Amazing.
just because I have set up the PR Club to help small businesses raise their profiles through PR consultancy and training, and it's what I absolutely love doing. So I'm always open to a DM, any question, I'm happy to organise it. And I do run some webinars on a regular basis as well, where people can come and ask me anything. So keep an eye out for those.
Mm-hmm. I might well pop along.
Excellent. You'd be very welcome.
Excellent. Love it. Okay. Well, thank you for coming along and sharing all that wonderful information there, Sarah. That's, yeah, really insightful, really interesting stuff.
Thank you for having me. And I'm sure we'll talk before AtomicCon, but we'll definitely see everybody there next year.
Yes, can't wait. Well, yeah, hopefully for those listening along at home, that was an interesting episode. For me, that was really interesting and insightful. Loved it. Either way, as ever, get marketing, because without marketing, there's no sales. And without sales, there's no business. So get marketing.